creating some things that you might want to have on hand, or maybe some water in a water bottle. I have a couple of paintbrushes nearby and a bin of water for cleanup, some baby wipes, and a couple of paper towels. I've got 3 different pillows because we're going to do 3 different projects, and I've got our stickers and a tree. I grabbed some markers, a paint pot, and watercolor paints, depending on how you're gonna do your project. And of course the 3 pillows, because we're gonna do 3 different projects. Now I kind of already got started on this one, so I'm going to start with that one so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I started with this one just because I wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of where we're going. So let's start with this one. We're gonna start with this little mermaid. So I did include 2 stickers in there. So these are little stickers. I included 2, one for the project and one for you to have just for whatever. So it's not because it was a mistake that you got 2, it was just because that's a bonus you can use for whatever you wanna use that for. So go ahead and set that one aside. And you can see that this sticker part, if you go ahead and touch the edge of that, the sticky back, that gray color or whatever color, it may be a different color depending on which one you got. I went ahead and I did a little bit of color in here, and I started this one with a watercolor. Now, if you have the watercolor set, depending on which one that you got, this does have a little plastic liner on the top, so let me peel that off. And what you can do is you can spray the entire top. Oh, there's not a whole lot of water in there. So let's get this wet on the top just to kind of get that going. Of course, you can always just wet your paintbrush. So this is watercolor, and I just mixed a little bit of yellow, a little bit of green, and I got that color on the backdrop because I want to have the mermaid be this yellow green kind of color. So we want to make sure that this is completely dry before we put the sticker on there, which is why I did this ahead of time. So we're going to put this on. The sticker right here, like so. And you want to make sure that all your edges are totally down. Super duper easy. And you can do this with your markers or your paint pots, whatever you got. It doesn't really matter. Whichever one you want to do. It's just bonus for something else. And now we're going to take our paintbrush or your markers. So let's say if I was doing my markers, well, let's stick with the paint. So let's say if we're doing the paints. So for this one, we'll do all of the painting. Let's say we're going to do the blue, and I'm going to get this paintbrush full of color. I should have wet that paintbrush ahead of time. And we're gonna fill it with a lot of color. I'm gonna start on top of the sticker. I'm gonna go right on top of that sticker, and I'm just going to fill the space. I'm gonna color my entire pillow. And sometimes the watercolor dries up. You're just gonna wanna keep getting that wet. If it gets dry, just wet your paintbrush again. And color the pillow. Super easy. And we want to cover the entire pillow. And we don't have to worry about any of those areas that were yellow or green. We're just going to cover that up. Now, of course, you can choose any color that you like. I'm just getting that paintbrush wet. I probably should have put that water a little bit closer to our paint palette. And covering up. Now, if you want, you can do the back right now. I'm just gonna do the front just so that you can see. And we can peel this off right now. And let's see the magic happens. And look at that, look at our mermaid. How fun is that? And now you still have this sticker. You can do it again on the back, or you can use this for something else in a different project. So this is with our watercolor. So let's try it again. Let's put her over here. We'll put her over here, and let's try our T-Rex. Okay, so this is with the watercolor. So if we want to add color first, we want to add the color directly onto the canvas. So we're going to either have to use paint or our marker, something. We're going to have to add our color onto our surface. So let's try our markers. Sure, let's use our blue. We're just gonna quickly get some color on here. We're gonna make a blue T-Rex. Let's see if he's gonna fit on there first. Oh, yep, we need to do his tail. Let's make sure he's gonna fit on there. Yep, looks like he's gonna fit on there nice. All right. So then we'll put our T-Rex. We're gonna peel that back. And make sure all those edges are down. Oops, I want to stick that over because I have that blue. All right, so now that he's down, let's take our paint. And you can do the markers right over this. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do the markers. Since we did this, let's say we did the markers right over. Let's see if this color is dark enough, this purple. Okay, so we want to, because we're using a little bit of pressure, I'm kind of holding that T-Rex just in case. Sometimes you gotta hold it, just those little arms. So I'm starting on that, I'm holding those arms. I'm holding the body just. Those little legs. But this color is a little bit darker, so I think that works nicely. So you probably want to do a darker color. So a lighter color first, and then the darker color will show up nice. And probably be careful not to go this way so you don't go under there. Because those T-Rexes, they can get pretty cranky. So we're gonna go around. I'm just holding that T-Rex. So like we did the mermaid, I think the best probably would be to put that marker down first, let it dry completely, then put the sticker on. Okay, now we can fill in the rest of this area. And with the markers and with the paint, you can add whatever designs you want to add. If you want to say roar, or you want to add some grass, or some, I don't know, clouds, or I don't know, some trees maybe, you can do that. I'm just gonna fill in this color however you want to do it. Just adding some color here. So you can go through and fill that out however you want to do that. And let's peel this back. There's our cool dinosaur. And you have an extra one if you want to do something else with that. So there is our dinosaur. Now let's take a look at this one. And actually I'm going to move this over here. And this one right here. So I'm going to show you this one. I'm going to grab the baby wipe really quickly because my fingers are getting a little bit dirty with this. So let's take a look at this. Now our fingers are going to get dirty on this one just because I have an idea. Now with these paint pots, if you get the paint pots, you might have to, just depending on with the shipping sometimes, be careful when you open them, make sure you open them over something just because sometimes the paint shifts. This paint is in the lid right now. To make sure that's stays in there and doesn't fly out. So don't open a paint over your carpet or anything like that. All right, so we're gonna take this, I wanna take this light color and we're actually gonna do our tree top in this light color. And I thought this would be fun for families right now. But you have to be willing to get your fingers dirty for this one. But no worries, because that's why we have wipes or a wet paper towel. Or you could just go wash your hands when you're done. That's why we did this one last. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're painting this part first, this lighter green, because we want this to kind of dry. All right, so we've got our tree, and then we're going to take and let's make our trunk. Use a little bit of this orange. And I'm just gonna dip a little bit into the orange and not even it's just gonna be a tree of a different color. And we could actually, and you might have different colors. You might have different colors at home. You might have a brown at home, or you might have this set or a different set, but we're just going to work with what we have here. So now we're taking this blue. And we're just gonna be a little bit creative here. So now we've kind of mixed this blue and this orange and just kind of made our own little weird brown color. Because sometimes we just have to wing it, right? Right. Perfect. Okay, so now we've got our funky little tree here, and we're just gonna, with canvas, we're just gonna shape it a little bit and let that dry. And now we're gonna create our background. So I'm just gonna wipe this a little bit. We're gonna take our, let's set this over here. I'm gonna get this out of the way. And we're just gonna do our blue and paint our background. And really, I'm just using a very light touch. And of course, you can do it any way you want. And you see, I really haven't cleaned my brush in between this, so you can see it has a little bit of the green still in it. I'm just ever so lightly brushing that canvas. And because it would be difficult to get this color again, I'm gonna go ahead and do the back. Sometimes when you mix things up and you know that you might see both sides, you want to do it at that time, because it would be hard to get it again. All right, so now we've got both sides covered, and it's just ever so lightly. And we've got our greenish blue sky looking thing here. And we've got our tree, right? And some specks have gotten on there, and I think it'll look really nicely on there once we get that done. So once it's dry, we're gonna glue that on. But right now, what we're gonna do, which I thought would be so fun, was now that you've got this little cute tree, I think it would be so cute to have you and your family members to take whatever color paint that you have, and even you could have your family members do either, everybody could do their own color and pick their own color and that represents them, or you could have them do all the same color. I mean, that's up to you, but I thought it would be super cute to have them go through and do either a thumbprint or a fingerprint. But I thought it would be cute to do it. So you could do like a thumbprint and do it, you know, here like on a paper first, and then they could go through and each person could go and add their thumbprint or their fingerprint, and then you could write their name on it and do a little family tree. And I thought that would be so super cute. And then maybe you could write your family name and the date below it. And I think that would be a super cute family project for you guys. Now, you may want to trim this little tree a little bit, and once it's dry, but you want to wait till it's totally dry, you could use a glue to glue it onto your little pillow. And once you do that, you can use an Eileen's glue if you have that, a fabric glue. Once it's completely dry, you can also stitch it on if you just want to use a stitch. You can use any type of a thick tacky glue or a thick white glue will work. Any type of a fabric glue will work, or just stitch it on by hand will work really easily. And once you have all your little pillows done, if you don't have any type of fiber fill around and you have any type of, let's say, mismatched socks laying around your house, because I know at our house, we always have a ton of old socks or old mittens that are mismatched, that are just laying around. You could use those to just take in there and stuff them in the bag and fill them, and they would make super cute little projects. And you could sign, because your little artists can sign it right there on the bottom and date them, and they would make super awesome little art projects. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know. I want to see your projects, so take a picture. I want to see what you guys do with them. Thanks for watching. So when you're ready and you have your projects, they're nice and dry and you're ready to fill them, if you don't have something like this, this is fiberfill, which is what we use for filling pillows. If you don't have any of this on hand, you can also use cotton if you have that, or you can use old socks. So you're just going to take the back of the pillow, it's already sewn for you, and you're just going to take that sock and stick it in there. And there's also another, you're gonna stick your finger in there because there's another lip in there, and you want to make sure that you're getting it in the top of the pillow as well as putting that sock. And don't use your socks that have a match. You want to use the ones that don't have a match, right? Your old socks that don't fit anymore. And so you want to make sure you got that all the way in the corners of the pillow so that it sits nice. And if you can fit a couple of socks in there, or just enough to make it look nice and full. Like this one's pretty good considering that was just one sock. So that looks pretty good. That looks nice in there. And let's try this one with this sock. And again, I'm reaching in for that other lip in there. And just kind of feeling my way around. And then, of course, if you need to maybe fill in with a cotton ball or something, or a second sock, you can. But within a few minutes, you can have it nice and filled out. So you just want to push that sock into the corner so that the pillow looks nice and full. And then pull that lip back over. And there's that one, looks pretty good. And I probably could get another sock in there. This one's kind of big, so I don't think I could fit this one in there, or I might have to cut it in half. So you would have to try different things to see how it would fit in there. So I only have 3 socks right now, and like right now I can already tell that this one would only fit half. So I would have to get one more or try to get some cotton or something. Like I think this one would need a little bit more something in here. And definitely I would need at least another sock to fill this out. So let's see. Because you want to make it look nice and full. But super easy. You can do this. I know that it's going to look, whoops, let's turn that one over. And I know it's going to look fantastic, and I can't wait to see your project.